Hello everyone, welcome back to this object-oriented programming with Python series. And in this video, we are going to discuss another very important topic of OOP, which is called polymorphism. So the polymorphism from the word itself, if we break this word, then poly means many and morphism indicates different forms. So it means that we will have the objects that will have many forms. We will create objects that will have different forms, different shapes or names, but they will behave exactly the same way. So there are four different methods with which we can perform this polymorphism, and one of them is called duck typing, which is we are going to discuss today. So here, duck means obviously duck, and typing means its type. Here's a very popular saying that if a bird walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, then it's a duck. So, for example, if I'll just create a class, let's say it's a class one, and then I will create a class two. So, if both of these classes will have methods that will behave exactly the same way, then I can say that this class is exactly like this class, or this class is exactly like this class. So, even though these classes or their objects will have different forms, I mean, it will be called one, or it will be called two, but if we change their names, then even after that, these classes will work exactly the same way. So what I'm trying to say is, I'll just go ahead and I will write a very simple code, and we will try to understand that what is polymorphism and what is the duck typing actually. So let's say I will create a laptop class because we were talking about computers and laptops in all of our previous videos. So let's create a method in it called specs. And in this method, let's say I put the specifications of i5, 512 GB and 16 GB. So i5 is the core processor CPU, and 512 GB is the hard disk, and 16 GB is the RAM, right? So what I will do, I'll just go ahead and I will create another class, but this time I will create a class called mobile. But what I will do in this different class, I will create the same method called specs, and I will write self in it. And this time I will change my specifications. Let's say a mobile have a Snapdragon CPU. It has 128 GB of space and 8 GB of RAM. Now what I will do, I'll just go ahead and create a polymorph named class, and in this class I will create a method called test, and in this test method I will say self, but additionally I will also take an object that on which we will work. Now what I will do, in the body of this method I will write object dot specs. Now this specs can either be this specs, or it can be this specs, right, based on the objects that we will give to it. So what I will do, I will just quickly go ahead and create the objects for all three classes. I will say L1 is for laptop, and M1 is for mobile, and P1 is equal to polymorph, right? So what I will do, I will simply just go ahead and I will call my P1, and from this P1 I will call my test method, and in this test method I have to give an object, remember. So I will just simply go ahead and give this method M1 here. So I will just go ahead and run this program. I will say this. Oh, I just made a little mistake here. I had to put equals there. So I'll just quickly clear this terminal, and I will run this program. So here you can see, because I gave M1 object to this test method, that's why the specifications of mobile devices has been printed out. Here you can see. But what if I just go ahead and let's say I will change it to L1. But this time I have the specifications of a laptop, right? So that's what polymorphism is. If you take a look quickly, all I did was changing M1 to L1, and this program did not return any kind of error. And what was the reason? The reason was that both of these classes, both of these objects, had this specs method in them. So in a sense, this class mobile, because it has same method as this laptop class, this mobile class is behaving exactly like this laptop class, right? So I will say that if this class quacks like laptop class, then it can also be behaved, or it has the same type as a laptop class. So that's what polymorphism is, and that's what duck typing is. I hope this video was informative for you, and you learned that what is duck typing and how we can perform that in our Python inside our object-oriented programming. In the next videos, we will learn that what is operator overloading and method overloading and method overriding.